walk as if she's experiencing Earth. And the duration would be around 15 minutes. I'd want to take time both for the ascend and her rise, the seed bearing, for Muskrat to die, for a moment of silence from the actors and the animals, like post his death. I'd want everything to be really tastefully done and not feeling the need to just like live within the lines, but rather take space for the lines. Let them resonate, let them hit, let the audience feel. So my target audience, I'd love all age groups, obviously, but I think it would be really powerful within schools. So ideally, I'd want my actors to tour with me around schools in the local Leon County area, especially since we are very connected to the Seminole tribe. And I'd also want this to be kind of like representative for FSU's community of the Seminole tribe that inhabited the land before us, which is like a topic we both discussed in class and I've discussed outside of class, like how we play a part in Indigenous culture when FSU and the Seminole have kind of been homogenized by the school, and how we act accordingly in response. I mean, we can praise and we can uplift these cultures and kind of take more time to acknowledge. As FSU students, teachers, alumni, we can take the time to see this community, to see it represented by real people who understand the culture, who have lived kind of a similar sense of this traditional Indigenous culture, whether it be kind of different from the tribe that's discussed within the piece. It takes on a new life, it takes on a new body through these people. So yeah, I'd really love for it to kind of target ages between 6 to grade 12, like middle and high. I think it would be great to teach young people from the get, like how to respect both women, how to respect other cultures, how to respect Indigenous culture, and how to see their impact on the land before us. So there'd definitely be a tribute at the end of this piece. I'd also love to reach like more Indigenous outreach within the community and invite them for free to watch my play. I'd want those people to kind of be revered in this setting and like be treated as though their culture is the one being represented. So yeah, the demographics, I'm imagining historians, Indigenous culture. I'm imagining like the people of both my actors tribe and other local tribes coming. Children in primary schools, children in grade schools, maybe literature, ecology, storytelling majors from FSU, theater goers in general, teachers and students, and environmentally conscious people, because that kind of, that relates to kind of the preservation of the earth. And like, just I'd want the setting to be so natural and so itself and so heartfelt. Like, I want the lighting to be yellowed when there aren't these like bright, beautiful beams of light. So yeah, moving on to sound, I'd want there to be 3 wireless headphones for the 2 narrators and Sky Woman. I'd want there to be a sound system for ambient sound of like birds chirping, the otter barks, the turtles' movements. I'd want them to be like the animals before turning into the humans, and then the humans also adding to like the sound in the background post. So yeah, I'd imagine the actors on stage next to their rightful animal. And I'd want there to be some like maybe 2 musicians as well. I didn't include them in the cast description, but I'm not imagining they have to be part of the Indigenous culture, and I haven't decided if I want, well, maybe I shouldn't say that, sorry. I just want like some flute and some hand drums, and if they were if there were some musicians within like the community that I would find who would hopefully be a part of this piece and want to make the magic come to life, which I know could be difficult, but it could also be a beautiful opportunity to really actually engage with an Indigenous culture and have them teach me, and I'd be flexible to adapting whatever about the setting and the lighting and like the sound to really make it as heartfelt as possible. So if they had 2 musicians, or if they were happy with kind of like this modern technical element to bring it back to kind of like modernity and like the world we live in now, I would really be open to their interpretation. but I'm imagining hand, drum, and flute, whether through the ambient sound system or 2 musicians. Lighting, natural lighting for most of the show. Kind of, if an amphitheater is really my ideal, like if this school has had an outside area or a circular stage, those are my preferable kind of like places to take this. Or else I'd want it to be like in the cafeteria, we move the tables, because I'd want the children to be there and to be wrapped around, to be engaged. You're in the gym, for example, but yeah, beam of light for the ascent and the animals turning into people before muskrat drowns, and the muskrat actor would leave after muskrat drowns. So some challenges. Now, cultural appropriation and cultural inaccuracy are my biggest both fears and challenges within this. I would hope to work with the community for weeks before this and to do school tours, as I mentioned, with them. I'd want them to be I'd be flexible to their wants and needs, how to be best represented, and I'd want to attend cultural discussions and work with Indigenous historians at FSU. So the benefit to this is to battle this cultural misrepresentation, this cultural inaccuracy, the stereotypes we have within our community every day that we don't always see so directly. And I'd want to especially battle the lack of Indigenous women's rights. So at the end of the play, I'd want Sky Woman to come forward and to face the audience with some truths about Indigenous culture today, and kind of like this need for change. And I'd also want an acknowledgement for the Seminole tribe, and I'd actually want that to be the same one FSU uses throughout most of their clubs and most organizations. They have this like writing of basically the acknowledgement of the Seminole tribe before them. So I'd want them to talk about the fact that 4 out of 5 women experience violence, how Native women are 10 times more likely to be murdered than average women in America. This is all American statistics. How thousands of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls, their cases are either unsolved or haven't even looked into. They haven't even been investigated. I'd want them to talk about how over 25% of Native Americans are in poverty, and how they have terrible healthcare rates because of banks being stingy with Indigenous cultures, and how they are flagged from the get-go. And 25% of Native Americans in poverty is double the national average, and how the unemployment rates in Indigenous communities are upwards of 50%. And I'd hope that my audience takes this as an opportunity to challenge current infrastructure, to gain respect and awareness for these Indigenous communities, to learn more, to seek to learn more about Indigenous culture and the tribe that we inhabit, and to have some awareness of what we don't see in America, of what we don't see every day, to seek social change. And I am imagining FSU students would serve as the technicians, so the sound people, for the ambient sound, the lighting people for the beams of light. I'm imagining either flashlights from off stage, tons of people with flashlights, or like the people who set up the stage. And I'd really like for most of FSU to take this opportunity to learn, and to learn a post about the 526 Native tribes in America and in the USA, and just like be part of the scene. Thank you.